The Ramana Periya Puranam. Arthur Osborne. My father used to say about me, whoever Ganesan meets, he will immediately call him a saint, a sage, or a Siddha Purusha. This, of course, was an exaggeration. If we are yanis like Bhagavan, we will see everyone as yani, or rather as yana. As we are not, we should see good in everyone. Many of us are not even able to do that. But ought we not to recognize saintliness when it is unmistakably present in someone? I saw saintliness in devotees like Arthur Osborne, Murunganar, Munagala Venkataramaya, Chadwick, Surya Nagama, and a host of others. And I realized that they brought me closer to Bhagavan. Having said this, I should add that my father was courteous to all and feared none in his life. He said that he sensed Bhagavan being always with him and around him, protecting him. Arthur Osborne came to Ramana Maharshi only in 1945. He stayed with the master for only 5 years, with brief gaps, but they were years packed with his devotion and the master's grace. I feel that Osborne was to Bhagavan what Swami Vivekananda was to Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa. Though Bhagavan's spiritual message was meant for the whole world, Arthur Osborne was the English voice, the Western voice. You may even call him the modern voice, to carry and spread Bhagavan's direct teaching of Atma Vichara, self-inquiry, all over the world. Arthur Osborne played a most important role in this. We are going to share how Bhagavan chose him and pointedly matured him in the direct teaching of self-inquiry. While in the body, Bhagavan ripened Osborne spiritually through his look, presence, and various other ways. After Bhagavan dropped the body, he made Osborne carry on this mission through appearance in dreams. From the beginning, Bhagavan, in his own mysterious, mystical, but simple and natural way, drew Arthur Osborne to himself for the sole purpose of spreading his direct teaching. It was my good fortune to work closely with Osborne for 6 years. What a lot did I learn from him. Arthur Osborne ably shouldered the responsibility of upholding the direct teaching of Bhagavan through his life and his brilliant writing. He had the rare combination of intellectual clarity, intuition, and poetical ability to articulate his experiences. Those who read Osborne's books, especially Ramana Maharshi and the Path of Self-Knowledge, will know that what a lucid writer he was, and how he could find effortless expression where others would fumble or be at a loss for words. Many have written wonderfully about Bhagavan's teachings, but among those who wrote in English, Osborne stands out, surpassing even Paul Brunton. Arthur Osborne's devotion to Bhagavan was complete, and he gave to Bhagavan his whole life together with his many and varied talents. All these he gave without any reserve and without any thought of himself. It was in 1960 that I came to Arunachala to stay permanently. After an illness of 3 months, I completely recovered and decided to dedicate myself totally to Ramanasramam. In the 1960s, there were only 10 people or so living in the ashram. When I arrived, Osborne was standing with open arms under the ulupai tree at the entrance of the ashram. I felt as if Bhagavan himself was receiving me with a smile of appreciation and acceptance of my decision. That one look, that one smile of Arthur Osborne made my life flower into total dedication to spiritual life. He said, "Welcome, Ganesan. We all knew that you will return here to your home. Arunachala is our home, and Bhagavan is our mother. Ask Arunachala, ask Bhagavan, only one boon, give me self-realization. Do not ask for mundane things, because he will certainly give whatever you ask for. He is a great giver. If you ask for a wife, a house, property, power, and position, he will most assuredly give it to you, in greater measure as well. But then he will send you away from Arunachala. If you ask for self-realization and nothing else, he will retain you here and give himself to you. Arunachala is self-realization, the pinnacle of jnana. So with this welcome home, Ganesan, and his innate happiness, he ushered me in. Who uttered these words? Not just an ordinary person, a Westerner and an intellectual, but one who had stayed unmoved from Arunachala, keeping Arunachala in his heart. Of course, all these are true. These are glorious words, and we must preserve them in our heart. Great men's words are true all the time, to all, under all conditions. Who was Arthur Osborne? He was born in London in 1906. His father was a school headmaster, and his mother was a simple, pious lady, interested in poetry and gardening. Osborne inherited these two traits from his mother. He wanted to be a gardener, a farmer all his life, but his father put him in Oxford, and he came out brilliantly with 10 gold medals. He fulfilled his parents' desires. But all his life, he remained a lover of poetry and gardening. All his spiritual experiences, apart from those that happened in the presence of Bhagavan, took place in his garden. From his childhood, he sought the deeper and higher purpose, the meaning of life. He told me that even as a small child playing in the grounds, he felt worldly living was meaningless. He could not share this feeling with anybody. The words of Jesus Christ were his only support. When Christ said, "He who seeks shall find," gave him great solace. He told me that this made him a seeker after truth all his life. At a particular stage, he came across the writings of the French philosopher René Guénon, and he was thrilled because René Guénon's teaching was, being is one. He immediately felt that this teaching was the truth. His restlessness and discontent over the futility of worldly living dropped off with the realization that life has, after all, a meaning. This is what he shared. If being is one and there is no other, then I cannot be any other than that one being. Therefore, to realize one's true being is to realize the identity with that absolute one being. It was the beginning of my quest, a quest from which I never swerved or turned aside. This was even before he knew anything about Bhagavan.